One of the best, most effective things that we can all do to improve our finances is to stay out of dumb, excessive consumer debt. That's it. Stay out of dumb debt. I know that sounds like simple common sense, but common sense isn't always common. And please note, I'm not saying to stay out of all debt. That would be great, but I also understand that avoiding all debt isn't always possible. For example, it's pretty hard for most people to buy a house or buy a condo without taking on a mortgage, which is definitely a form of debt. I also understand that your old beater of a car might break down at an inconvenient time. That inconvenient time being when you don't have an extra 20 grand just sitting around in a bank account with nothing to do. So sure, you might need to borrow some money to repair or replace the car. And of course, it's pretty hard for most students to complete their post-secondary education without taking on what I hope is some well-considered student debt. But right now, we're talking about dumb, excessive consumer debt, which so often means things that we want but don't really need, that we buy with money we don't yet have. Things that we want, don't really need, with money we don't have. It might be helpful to talk about the difference between needs and wants. A need is something you can't really get by without. Things like food, shelter, clothes, transportation, maybe your phone or a laptop. A want is more of a desire, a nice-to-have thing. Wants are often entertainment or consumer goods. Be aware that it's pretty easy for a need to slip into the want column. For example, we all need food, but do we need to get it at a restaurant 4 times a week? We may need transportation, but do we need a fancy expensive car or even a car at all? Being honest about what we really need versus what we want can be a very helpful step towards avoiding dumb, excessive consumer debt.